Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. SWOT is a conceptual model for analyzing a business. It's taught in every business administration program. The purpose of the SWOT analysis is to inform the development of strategy. It's exciting, and you're supposed to enjoy it. I'm going to give an example, and this example is provided by Dr. My Document of Boston. Dr. My Document is a team of professional paper writers who help busy people in their business administration classes. If you need help with an online class, you can email them and get them to write papers and discussion posts for you every week. The same writer can work for you every week until you complete your class. Their email address is beneath this video. You don't lack the ability to do a SWOT analysis. You lack the confidence to trust your own ideas when they arise in the mind. Doing a SWOT analysis is not hard. In fact, someone invented the SWOT analysis to make it easy for us to think about business strategy. The SWOT analysis makes it easy to be thorough. Think of someone important to you. When that person needs your help, you want to do everything you can to help them. That means you want to be thorough. You can use a SWOT analysis to make sure you're being thorough. First, consider your strengths. What are you really good at? The things you can do to help your friend a lot. Now think of your weaknesses, the things you could do to help your friend, but only a little because you suck at doing those things. Now think about opportunities. What is happening right now in your situation, and how can you jump on an opportunity to help your friend? Finally, think about threats. What's happening right now that might screw your friend's situation up even more? Be aware of that and guard against it. When you do a SWOT analysis on yourself helping a friend, you can see that it's easy and natural, just like having a conversation. Now let's do a SWOT analysis on a business. You can only do a SWOT analysis on a business while you are reading about the business. For example, your assignment might say, how would you complete a SWOT analysis on the New York Times? And you need to search for the elements of a SWOT analysis while you're reading about the New York Times. I need to slow down and give my mind time to think about what I'm being asked to do. I'm being asked to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the business. So I go online and I'm reading about the New York Times and thinking only about the strengths of the New York Times and nothing else. This may seem obvious, but when people get blocked against writing, they're being blocked against something that should be very easy and natural for anyone. Writing should be just as natural as speaking about something. It's just as natural as having a conversation with a friend. So if you are getting blocked against writing, it's because you just might not be thinking about things one at a time. And you need to have an active state of mind while you read. Just like a cat watching a mouse hole. I'm right here ready to pounce. I'm ready to type. When I hear a remark made by the voice of the mind, when I hear the voice of my own mind start to make a comment about strengths of the New York Times, I'm ready to type about it, and I have the confidence to believe in my own idea about the strengths of the New York Times. So forget the past, forget the future, and just slowly read about the New York Times. Listen for the voice of the mind to say something about one of the strengths. While I'm reading, my mind says, one strength of the New York Times is that it has almost legendary status as an American news outlet. Another strength is that it has popular journalists with readers who follow them and trust them. It's easy to keep writing about the strengths. I could write 20 pages about the strengths of the New York Times. And when I've written enough about the strengths, I move on to the weaknesses. We have a whole internet full of information about the New York Times, so it's easy to find their weaknesses. But your own weakness is that you will second guess every idea you have. Pause for a moment and listen to your own mind. What do you think might be a weakness of the New York Times? Maybe it's the fact that everyone knows the industry they lead, printed news, has become practically obsolete because of the internet. How about that? Being an industry leader producing something people do not need anymore is a pretty big weakness. Out with the old and in with the new. But your mind says, I don't know if that really qualifies as a weakness. I don't know if that's what the professor is looking for. Forget those questions, stop doubting yourself, and write your paper. You can do this, and your ideas are just as good as anyone's. All ideas come from that same mysterious place anyway. And if you don't have time for writing papers, email help@drmydocument.com. If you need more time for family, or if you need to focus on your job in the real world instead of spending hours every day on coursework, you can hire someone to help with online classes. You still get to learn the concepts taught in class, but your writer will save you a lot of time.